Hey, what's happening? This is Chef Rick with Eat Marketing. Today in the kitchen, we're going to be talking about our Middleby WOW Oven. The WOW technology was developed a couple years ago. It was just to enhance their already existing platform on their Middleby Marshall ovens. As you guys noticed, we did a couple videos ago, we did the CTX oven, so we have the CTX stacked on top of here. But today, we're going to talk about the WOW oven. I'm going to go ahead and start throwing an item in right now as we talk about the oven itself. So today, we're going to do like three different dishes out of the oven itself. Just want to kind of show you a couple different cooking things that are different platforms that you can do with the oven today. So we're going to do some chicken wings with a dry rub on there, something we made in the house. We're going to do a roasted vegetable salad, which are kind of like a hit to the menu during the summer. They're something that's super easy to do, and they have a ton of flavor impacts due to the fact that in the summer vegetables are at their prime. So what you're doing is just we're taking a little bit of that moisture out of there with the oven, and we're enhancing that the sugar and the flavors. So all we're doing is just taking our chicken wings right here, put the wings and everything, throw them on a sheet tray. You do not have to put this on parchment paper. If you want to put them on just a regular sheet tray, by all means, go for it. All we're going to do is we're going to throw it right in the middle of the oven, and we'll let it do its thing. So, while that's working, let's talk a little bit about the oven. This oven, particular oven, works off impingement. Impingement means that you are forcing air on the top and on the bottom through little holes that are about yay big. It forces the air down at a particular velocity that you can set up through the oven, and it helps that speed of the oven. It helps it cook a little bit faster. So we have the oven today set, I think it's set at 495 degrees. So at 495 degrees, we kind of figured out here in the kitchen that I can do pizzas out of it, we're going to do chicken wings out of it, and we're going to do a roasted vegetables. We're going to change the times on them a little bit, but for the most part, I figured out how to work everything on one platform. So chicken wings are going to go through twice, we're going to do our vegetables once, and we're going to do our pizza once. So a little bit about the oven. The oven can come in a single or split belt format. You can go from 18-inch wide belt and all the way up to 39 inches or 38 inches. So if you want to do those two 18-inch pies side by side, you can absolutely do them side by side in the oven. You just got to get a little bit bigger width. You can cook in temperatures from 316 degrees all the way up to 600 degrees. Cool feature about this oven is that if you decide you want to do like more of a hearth baked or a stone baked pie in the oven, they make a hearth belt for the oven. So it's a hearth stone, multiple stones that are already pre-cured. Rotates just like a normal belt does on this one, but it cooks just like our Marsala oven over there. So you put the pie directly on the stones itself, and you let it go through and do its thing. So if you want more of that bake, but you still want to use the impingement technology, absolutely, it's definitely a way to go. You can still do all your stuff on the sheet tray. You can do all your vegetables to do, chicken wings, chicken breasts, you name it, you can do it. You can do this oven in a gas, which we have right here, or you can do it in an electric configuration for the oven. So it depends on which one you want to order. This one in particular does not have a catalytic converter in it, unlike the Turbo Chef, which does, that we've done in the past. So you do have to have this one under a hood, just to make sure that all your fumes and everything like that, grease-laden vapors, go up through the exhaust hood. If you want to do skin on, which we're doing with the chicken wings, you can absolutely do it in here. Another cool feature about the oven is that if you're going to do, let's say you're doing a sandwich, but your belt's set at, ours is set at 5 minutes and 30 seconds right now, and all I need to do is I have a touch screen right over on the right-hand side of the oven. I can touch it. I can change my temperature of the oven on the fly if I need to. I can change the time on the fly if I need to. I can also change my hertz. Hertz are if you want a little bit more wind speed, or you want a little bit more velocity coming through those jet holes or impingers, or you want a little bit less, that's when you change it. So totally automated. So like I said before, if I'm doing a sandwich, but I've got it on the bell set at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, to be honest, the sandwich is not going to take 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Cool thing is, you got a 15-inch wide window that I can open up. I can go in the middle of it. I can take my product out of it. So for a sandwich, it might take 2 minutes to go through. You got Phillies, you've got Italian stuff. You got your melon cheese and everything. That's kind of the way to go. There is not really no limitation to what you can or can't do through this oven. It just depends on how creative you want to get it. Whether you lamb chops through it, absolutely. If you want to do chicken breasts through there, airline chicken breasts, go for it. Let it rock and roll. fish through there, very similar to ZCX, put fish through there if you want to. So this is on that platform, when you start talking about getting a little bit more automated in the kitchen, this is kind of what you're going to be looking at doing with your kitchen, your new products coming out in the future. So just make it a little bit easier on the end user as far as not having saute pans set up everywhere, not having the heat of that, your 6-burner range coming out. You can stack these up to 3 units high. You could have seafood going through one, you could have meat going through one, you can do pies through one, or whatever you want to do. If you, a lot of chain restaurants are not so much chain, but larger account restaurants right now are starting to use these more and more. So if you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out to us. The wings have come out. So we're going to run these wings through one more time. Like I said, they're going to take about 11 minutes total. If I have a split belt, I can just set one belt 11 minutes. I can have another belt set 5 minutes and 30 seconds, depending on what I was doing through the oven. So now I've got my wings going through. We're gonna do all the roasted vegetables for the next, like the farmer's salad, you would call it. So we just got zucchini, squash, carrots, a little Vidalia onions, or sweet onions, depending on where you're at, and a little heirloom tomatoes and asparagus. So done a little olive oil. Just gonna lay my vegetables out here. No particular order. Little carrots up on me, why not? Asparagus, Vidalia onions. Depends what part of the country. Palmetto onions are in South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. We use Vidalias. More on top. So it's going to still kind of roast all the vegetables and everything going through there. Cool. I'm just going to pop it right in the oven. All right. So let that do its thing. The wings are going through, the vegetables are going to go through. The oven comes with a 1-year parts and labor warranty. So you don't have anything to worry about. It also does, in the continental U.S., it does come with a startup on it. So when you get the oven put into your location, it doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, or 3. You contact us, your representative, or whoever is the rep group for it, and then we're going to walk you through and come out and train your team members on it, make sure everything's working properly on the oven. So don't feel like you're out there on your own. You just got this new oven, you're not really sure what to do with it. That's when we're going to come into play, and we're going to come out there and help you out. If for a particular reason the oven's not being used, so let's say you're on, but you've kind of got some downtime, you don't have to worry about turning the oven off. This one has a smart sensor eye. It's over on the left-hand side. It is basically just, like I said, it's a red eye on there, laser that goes all the way across. It senses if products coming through that eye or that range to go in the oven. It doesn't sense products going through there in a certain period of time. What it does is it kind of drops down the energy consumption on the oven, drops it down by about 40%. So saving on gas, saving on electric. And what that does is when you put a product back through there, like you just did right there, energy consumption is going to come back up. It's going to kick it back up to 100%. You won't even notice the difference in it. The product's going to cook the same. It's about a 3-second delay. So when it hits that eye, you get about 3 seconds for that energy consumption comes back up. You're still sitting at that 495 degrees, but just to let you know, your energy consumption is going to come back. If you're not used to cooking conveyor, and you're cooking, let's say you're cooking pizzas, for example, you do not have to dock them when you go into a standard deck oven. Cook slowly, you're not really hitting it with a lot of air, it's not forcing that up, it's not forcing it at a rapid rate, it's forcing the dough to rise at a rapid rate. So in a traditional oven, let's use Marsal for example, we have in the kitchen, the dough is going to slowly bake, so it's going to rise ever so slightly. You might get a couple pockets here and there that you're going to need to tap down, but I recommend that when you're using a conveyor oven, you kind of want to just dock your dough ahead of time, and I'll show you that in just a second. The reason is because you don't want the dough to rise so fast. You don't want the yeast to kind of overdevelop and rise up so fast. So you're going to dock it. You're going to prolong that rise on the oven, or rise on the dough. So right now we're about halfway through. So the chicken wings are about 2/3 of the way through. The vegetables are about halfway through. So we'll get our plate ready. Now, I did using these ovens. At first I wasn't sure how to use these or what applications they might fit in, because coming out of a traditional kitchen, I had a 6-burner range, an 8-burner range, I had flat tops, I had all that stuff. And I never had the opportunity to work with something like this that was a little bit more simple, that you can streamline some processes. But I tell you what, I wish I had something like this some days in the kitchen. So you're cutting down on product, you're helping out your team members, you're making life a little bit easier for those guys in the kitchen. It's here, the technology is here to kind of simplify your way of life. I think personally, after listening to a lot of calls that are going on right now throughout the country, it seems to be a way for the future as far as automation goes, and this is just another step in that direction. And it's not trying to get away from having so many cooks in the kitchen or taking away from jobs, just to make their jobs a little bit easier. So maybe you can spend more time in the front end of it as far as when prep goes on. You can get a little more creative with the items that you can. You can spend a little bit more time. So the execution standpoint is a little bit easier for you in the kitchen. So the rub I had, we put on the wing say a lot of sugar, not a lot of sugar, but brown sugar, so it's going to caramelize. Coriander and a little bit of cumin in there, so you're going to get a little bit more of the darker complexion on there. So wings are all done. I've timed these before, so I know it's going to take 11 minutes for these wings to go through. So if you put them on if you take them right off the paper and you just throw them right on there, right on your sheet tray, you get very similar results. You're going to get a little bit darker complexion if you're doing a naked wing with just a dry rub on it because of the sugar. But for the most part, you'll get very standard, same kind of cooking. So serve a little house-made ranch, little buttermilk ranch, blue cheese, whatever you want to do, little chives, chicken. So 11 minutes, didn't touch them, didn't put them in a fryer, didn't do anything like that. So if you want a healthy alternative, another use of the oven is a little bit more healthier alternative on your product. So you're not bogging it down in the fryer or anything like that. All right, next item we have coming out, we have our vegetables for our farmer salad. Doesn't really matter what you want to use. Nothing was pre-blanched, nothing was pre-cooked. We should be putting in there from a raw standpoint, and I just want it to caramelize all the way through. It's going to wick away a little bit of that moisture, and it's going to kind of intensify the flavor of the vegetables, especially right now. We're sitting in June. You're talking about prime time for vegetables right now. They're grown at abundance out there. So, if you get the opportunity to support your local farmers, definitely. But, I want to intensify the flavor. That's why I'm using them this way. And like I said, we talked about Turbo Chef about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We use the Turbo Chef conveyor where you have a jet plate that you take out. So, Middleby Marshall's a little bit different to where you take out the front, you take out the base of the oven, you can loosen that up, you take out this, and you pull out your fingers. Your fingers are basically like your jet plates, so they can sit in a configuration pattern just like this. So this is one jet plate, this is your next, or your fingers, they sit in there just like that if you're looking down on it. So you can take those out, come apart, you clean them. Same with the bottom, they come out, you can clean them. Just got to make sure that you're putting them back in the same way you took them out. So if you need to draw yourself a diagram the first couple times, by all means do that. Just to make sure, because if you don't put it back in the same way, what's going to happen is you're going to get a different bait. Because you can adjust those. You can put different spacers in there. If you're not getting the right cook, you can put different spacers in there. You can change the finger pattern if you need to. So if the oven is not cooking the way you thought it was going to be cooking, where it was done during the test, we definitely can look at the finger configuration there. We can see exactly how it's all set up to make sure that we're getting it at a stronger standpoint. So, simple vegetables. We're going to throw a little goat cheese. I made a simple herb vinaigrette, which has got like chervil, thyme, basil, and white wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, and tarragon vinegar in there, and just olive oil. So all we do is take all our vegetables. Tongs, no tongs, doesn't really matter. You're into asparagus. My kids would love this, man. We grill asparagus at the house all the time. The kids freak out over it. If I had this at the house, I'd be in heaven. Put that there. And then we've got a couple heirloom tomatoes we're going to throw in there. So a couple of these heirlooms in there. So we didn't roast the heirlooms. I mean, they're perfect to me. That's personal opinion. They're kind of perfect the way they are, so I didn't feel the need to roast those ahead of time. Everything else. Chev, goat cheese. This is super simple for an appetizer. If you're just, during the summer months, this is great. It's one of my favorite things to order on menus when I go out to eat. Vinaigrette on there. Alright. Salt action, we'll floor to sell or sea salt, whatever whatever you got in your hands. Throw a couple of pieces of arugula on there. There you go. Farmer salad. I'm gonna take it from a farmer salad, a true farmer salad. Throw some fresh made bacon on there, house made bacon, anything like that. Throw a little slab of bacon on there, pork belly, you name it. Totally get weird with whatever you guys want to do. Let's do a little pizza action. So we're gonna do super simple, no frills, no chills pizza. So we're just gonna do a regular cheese pizza, but at the end, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it from our reach. We're gonna take it and we're going to throw a little arugula on it. And we're gonna throw a burrata. Chef Matt and I in South Florida were talking about this the other day. We were talking about how much I think both of us love burrata. We did a startup on an oven last week. We were together and the end user was going to use burrata on it, and we were just talking about how much we thoroughly enjoy that. So I figured I'd break a little burrata out today. Flour action on the dough. This will be about 14 to 16 inch pizza, so 18 inch cavity. The more I talk to people nowadays, I'm noticing, and I don't know if it's that for the rest of the country out there, but at least it is here in Florida, is that a lot of end users are making less 18 inch pies and more 16 inch pies. So they're kind of getting on that a little bit more that personal level. Doing that, so it's, you know, save a little bit, I wouldn't say save a little bit on money, but be a little more cost effective. Does so just a little bit cool inside. It's gonna work. Pies are this is a big thing down here in Florida, man. Everybody wants to do them. This right here, if you have somebody that can just stretch it out for you, the oven is not one of those ovens that you need to babysit all the time. And we're gonna put it in there. We're gonna let it do its thing, and we're gonna take it out. I mean, that's from a standpoint of having someone maybe that's, you know, less experienced in here that really wants to learn and do some really cool stuff. This is a great oven to use for that. As far as the training tool goes, so you could have an amazing trained pizza chef and stuff like that. Just pump out a little bit more because of the automation. Or you can have somebody in high school that only works Friday and Saturday night, maybe works on shift on Sunday or something like that, and he's out there in the back pumping pies. You don't need to worry about him rotating the pies or anything like that. These strippers back here, just put them on your pan, still on ready up. So close we are. Woo. So I was not working really in any pizza kitchen, so this is always a learning experience for me. So again, like I said before, we're gonna dock it. Due to the fact that we're forcing that air up, we're gonna dock it just a little bit. We're gonna get some bubbles. We're gonna make some noise and get some bubbles, so it's totally cool. No sauce on there. There's no preference to sauce. It's whatever you guys want to do. Thick, thin, doesn't really matter. You know, Altagachina's, you know, whole, you know, smashed tomatoes and stuff like that. And whatever you guys are into. Cheese preference, and I'm not even going to get into it. I've done all sorts of different stuff with end users. You know, everything from blends of provolone to part skim to whole milk provolone to just a whole milk cheese. I have noticed though that you're using skim milk, obviously a smaller or less fat content. You do notice that it burns a little bit quicker, just because of the water in there. It just has a tendency to burn a little bit. So I would not recommending anything, but I would kind of stay away from it a little bit. So I try to use whole milk when I'm using when I'm making pies. So that's it. We're just gonna keep it real simple. We have our perforated rack on there, so it's just gonna go right through like that. So you're gonna get all the way cooked on the bottom, you're gonna get all the way cooked on top. So obviously we have a CTX oven up top. So if you want to, you can absolutely use both ovens at the same time simultaneously. So if you've got steaks going in the top, if you've got shrimp going in the top, you want to use this one for pies, wings, stuff like that, by all means, you know, that's what they're there for. The difference, just a reminder, the difference is we're cooking off impingement down below, forcing air, you know, through our holes in our jet plates, fingers, on top of cooking radiant heat. So it's like we're using a charbroiler right on top. This one gets up to 900 degrees, 850 degrees, something like that. This one goes up to 600 degrees. If you used to use the traditional stone hearth oven, this is just personal I've learned from this oven, is that when it bakes, and you're not using a hearth on this, the pie's going to have a little bit more pliability to it. You're still going to get a nice crust on the bottom, don't get me wrong. It has a little bit more pliability to it, so it's forcing the moisture out as well as drying it out. In a hearth baked oven, you're slowly drying that moisture out. So if you're using a hearth baked oven, the rigidity of the dough is going to hold just a little bit more. But as far as the ease of use standpoint, this is the way to go. So we're getting to that halfway standpoint. So as you're doing this thing, you're just constantly building doughs and putting doughs through. And when we're doing testing, we're putting this thing through the bringer. So if you look in the back, you can see the flame going up in it. So you know it's constantly working, it's constantly pushing energy through there. But I've noticed even when we're doing one pie after another, we're getting very consistent bakes out here. It's not dropping down the temperature too much due to the fact of the size of the cavity. It's not an extremely large cavity, so it's retaining that heat. Even though if you look on the sides, very similar again to a turbo chef, I use that as an example, is that you do have an open-ended cavity, but it's almost like a heat shield on the side to where you're containing that box, you're containing all that heat and energy. One of your parts of labor warranty does come with a startup from the manufacturer's representative. It can come in a 3-tiered configuration. It has an energy saving mode on it due to the fact that the temperature drops, or excuse me, if you're not using the oven like during the middle between the lunch and the dinner service, it's going to drop it down about 40%, so you're going to contain a little bit of that money instead of going out right in there. It can come in gas and electric. Typically, you see these in a lot of gas stove. They do not have a catalytic converter, so they have to get rid of it. So you have to get rid of the hood system with this. Fully automated touchscreen. Remember, you can change the time, you can change the temperature, you can also change the hertz. The hertz is the amount of airflow that we're pushing through. If you need more, we need less, we just up or down, and touch the button. There's no special code to get in there or anything like that. Literally, where the hertz is on the screen, you can get that, and that's where you can change everything. But I mean, we're cranking this oven right now, and you're not getting any crazy noise out of it. None of the pans banging around or anything like that. So if you have an open kitchen, I mean, this would be ideal for an open kitchen concept. For the places right now in the market, the way everything's kind of shifting, you're going to have multiple venues out of one kitchen. So you might have your sit-down restaurant, which in the future could have a little bit smaller footprint. But your kitchen could have a larger footprint because you need a little more throughput. Have a couple of these in there. You can do the restaurant out of it. You can do to-go out of it. And even if some of these restaurants are going to have a market, so they're going to have more of a to-go items that are going to be cold that you serve at home, vegetables and stuff like that. Having one of these in there can really ease a lot of it of that up. You don't have to have all this different equipment to get a lot of stuff done. So you start noticing when it's coming out, you're getting that caramelization, your dough's starting to get nice and brown. I mean, quite frankly, you really be hard pressed to tell this comes out of this oven compared to a hard baked oven. No offense to any hard baked companies out there to represent them, but I mean, depends on what you're looking for. This oven is going to be a fantastic alternative to doing a hard baked oven, especially if you have a smaller footprint that you're trying to get through. Yeah, look at that bad boy. Whew. For not being a pizza guy, man, it turned out pretty good. So you can have, again, if you're doing a pizza joint, you got throughput, you're getting ahead of the game. Stack some of your pies up, have them set aside, get ready to rock and roll, and you start pushing them through. Get the pie off there. So you can see, I mean, crispy crust, we're sitting hard on there right now. It's not getting a lot of possibility off of it. Like I said, I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to tell that came out of the conveyor oven is working off impingement than a traditional hard baked oven. So do I typically put burrata on a red sauce pie? Probably not. Maybe I do like a roasted garlic sauce or an Alfredo, not even Alfredo, but like maybe a little bit creamier sauce or a garlic oil. But today this is what we're doing. So I'm going to throw down a little bit of arugula on there. I like doing stuff table side when I was kind of in the restaurants on a regular basis. And throw a little olive oil on there. So I would take this out there, just whole like this, with your burrata right in the center. And then what I would probably do is I'd probably cut it in front of the customer. Just so you see that gooey cheese kind of coming right down here. And I'll do the same thing with you guys. So a little salt on top. Throw some chili flakes on it, fresh herbs, whatever you guys got. That's it. So we just did 3 different things in a matter of 20 minutes, 3 different dishes, 20, 25 minutes. We did a hand tossed pie. So much pasta stretched. We did the hand tossed pie. We did a roasted vegetable salad with goat cheese and an herb vinaigrette, and we did some dry rub wings. So there you have it. This is Chef Rick with Eat Marketing. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great Friday. Get in there, dude. Look at that. Dude, that makes me excited. Go. Get in.